Well, Shannon, what did you make of all that yesterday?
Yeah, very disappointing. I mean, I don't. Hawthorn were very good, but we didn't play anywhere near our best footy, which was a bit disappointing. So we just didn't give ourselves a chance, pretty much.
What did you learn, though? What do you take away from playing against a team like Hawthorn?
I think you learn a lot from throughout the whole year, but the biggest thing I think with games, and especially finals games, is just doing the basics well. So I think we had a couple of opportunities early, and we just didn't convert them. And then you're always playing catch-up footy a little bit, but it's just the basics, a couple of fumbles. That's all it is.
What's been said about the inaccuracy?
There hasn't been a lot said, but it's still disappointing. The players understand that we had a few shots that we like to think we should kick most of the time, but I think we've been doing that all year. The way we train, that's the best thing I think improvement's been in the last 18 months is training with a purpose. So when blokes come out here, they make sure that they feel like they're under pressure and they're having shots at goal. So I've got full belief in the way we kick, but just unfortunately on the weekend it didn't work out.
What do you need to do to improve next year?
I think it's like any year you come in. I think we're a very fit side. The biggest thing this year, I think, is we've understood the game a lot better and we've been playing some really good team footy. But then it just comes down to doing the basics, and as I touched on. So that's the way that you train. I think our decision making has come a long way this year, working together as a team and defending. So it's all of those things, but it's just doing them well all the time. And when you get opportunities, just make sure you make the most of it.
What are some of the things that Hawthorn is better than Eagles, in your opinion?
Look, one of the things I think in the end is pretty much what happens in games like that is they took most of their chances, didn't really fumble the ball, used the ball well, and unfortunately it just didn't quite work for us on the day.
Can you just talk about the human element of it? Obviously you guys have put so much hard work into getting to yesterday. Can you just talk about the range of emotions you felt?
Yeah, it's one of those things, as we touched on during the year, we're happy and proud of what we've done, but to get to the day it was still disappointing what we did. But I suppose the support we had throughout the whole final series, but the whole week was fantastic. I think we had close to 10,000 people out here on a couple of training sessions, which was great. Grand Final parade was pretty good, but I still think the blokes were ready to go. I don't think we were overawed by it, we're over anxious, over nervous. I do think we're ready to go. As I touched on, we just didn't make the most of opportunities. Then we're just playing a bit of catch-up footy.
Yeah, on stage, Simo mentioned it's a bit of a grieving process. How long do you think it will take for the guys to process everything?
It'll be different for a lot of players, and people will handle it differently. Some people won't want to think about it. Some people will probably think about it for a while. I think the biggest thing, as long as it drives you to become a better player and a better club, that's the biggest thing. So I think it will with our group. I think we're fortunate enough with the young players and the young group we've got. And blokes are really matured and understand what footy is about. So I think it'll be a good thing for us.
What about that Hawthorn team? Are they the best you've ever seen? 3 in a row now?
Well, they've been a fantastic side. They probably go down with the Brisbane Lions when they won all their premierships, and the same as Geelong. And they've just got their senior players. They play well together, and they just do it consistently. So they are a very good side.
Do you think they've got that mental discipline that the Eagles need to develop?
No, look, as I touched on, I think they just do the basics well most of the time. So I've been really proud and really happy with the way that we've trained this year, the way we've played. I think we've been able to play pretty much 4 quarters pretty much throughout the year, and we understand what we're doing. So I think that's what mental discipline is. And I think, as I said, the basics of the footy, just doing the basics really well. When you get an opportunity to score, you just got to score, and then just doing the simple things well.
Do you expect the list to change much over summer?
Oh, that's always a hard one. I think 3 players go off the list and 3 players come on the list. So I'm not sure. We'll just have to wait to see what goes with that.
What are your thoughts next year on maybe Scotty Selwood being with the club, leaving the club?
Yeah, look, Scotty will make that decision in his due time. I think when he's been at the club, he's been fantastic. So he always trains with purpose. He's been a great team man. So we'd love to have him around, but at the end of the day, it's up to him.
What's your message for the fans, especially those that have been out here for hours waiting for you to come home?
Yeah, well, we touched on it before. We've been really happy. I think we've got 60,000 members this year. There's been a lot of great support, especially the fans that came out today. I mean, I think it only really struck me in the last couple of years how much footy means to a lot of people, and especially the WA community. So we certainly understand that we've got a lot to do as a playing group and make sure that we respect that and try to play well and play attacking footy, and I think we've been able to do that.
It's been such a unique defensive setup all season. How do you think that will change once Mackenzie and Brownie comes back?
Yeah, it just always changes all the time. But I think Brownie and Mackenzie are very good players and they're very smart players. So I think they'll be able to fit in. And I think you're always adapting with the players around you. So, we'll probably have a couple more guys come in, a couple maturer, and you're always fighting for spots at the start of the year. But it's just one of those things you just got to wait and see what happens.
There's a lot of optimism among the fans in terms of the Eagles having lost a premiership and then won the following year twice before. Do you share that optimism?
Oh, it's always nice to have that, but just because you had a good year last year doesn't mean it's going to happen again. So I think 2011, 2012 we had a pretty good year. 13, I think we were equal favourites and it just didn't quite work. So that's the biggest thing that the message will be over the year is just making sure the players as a playing group, we keep working hard, keep doing the basics well. If we can do that, I think that puts us in good stead, because if you keep thinking it's going to happen, sides catch you. So you always need to keep improving.
What's the plan for the boys from here?
As in with the break, sorry mate. Yeah, look, we'll our best and fairest is on a Friday, on this Friday, and then I think we start, a couple of boys will start training mid-November, and then the older blokes start 1st of December. So I think it's really important that, guys, you've got to come back in good condition, but it's really important you can get away and have a mental freshener from the game.
What about yourself? You're going to head home with a fish?
Yeah, I will. So I'll hopefully get a couple of fishing trips in. We're going to go back on the farm probably 2 weeks' time and start shearing then, so yeah, that'll be good.
Just a couple of recruits been mentioned for next year. Your thoughts on maybe Redden or Jeddah coming to the club?
Yeah, they're all good, very good players. So I play against them for a while. It's just one of the things you just got to wait and see what happens. They're good, mature players, and from what I've seen, they seem to play some pretty good team football. But this time of the year, a lot of things get spoken about. It's just whatever happens in the end will happen.
You've experienced a few cycles of how the Eagles have gone over the years. Does it feel like you guys are on the verge of something special now?
Yeah, I certainly think it is. I mean, every year you try to go in positivity. But I think this year, as I touched on, the playing group understands what footy is about, and we want to do it. We want to achieve something as a playing group, but that just doesn't happen. You've got to make sure that you train well, prepare well, do the little things well. I think we've done that, and as long as we keep learning and keep getting better, I think we'll be okay.
In terms of the personnel, do you feel that this is a group that can achieve sustained success?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I really do. I think we've got a very good balanced team, and as I touched on, over the years, people come and go, and you add to your list. But one of the things that is really important is that your senior players make sure you have standards that you are happy with at the club, making sure you commit, making sure you train well. So it's just trying to. Sorry, mate. It's just making sure that the standards you have as a playing group, that's what you stand for as a club, and you want to keep trying to pass on.
Yeah. Have the boys gotten together and all matter packed about next year, or what you're going to do?
We haven't done that as much. You know, last night we were very fortunate enough. We had family and friends at a function, so players were hurting, and we hung around together. So there's been no pact, but I think players deep down inside know that we want to achieve something as a group.
A bit of talk about a couple of incidents in the third quarter with Luke missing a target and Jack dropping the mark. Do you make sure you get around both of them?
Oh, well, you make sure you get around all the players, and same as the whole squad. You know, unfortunately, sometimes players miss out even getting in the grand final. But that's one of the really important things as a senior player, is making sure you get around the players and you know, just making sure that they're not too down on themselves. While it's disappointing, as long as they learn from it, we'll be okay.
Have they enjoyed the season so far, as part of this?
Have we enjoyed the season? Yeah, well, mate, winning's excellent, but every time you get to play football, you try to enjoy it, and I think Simo's brought that the last couple of years. So as I said, we're happy. I think we've got a really good balance of enjoyment, but also working hard to achieve something.